Francesca Zappitelli, writer, director, Ballerina I'm Not. What did you enjoy most in making Ballerina I'm Not?
I enjoyed exploring the history because there were so many women before my time, years ago, that really paved the way, such as Mildred Burke. Now, back in the 1930s, during the Depression, she'd wrestle men at bars, and she challenged them, hey, you can't beat me. And she beat them, and she'd win the bet. And that's how she supported her family in the Depression. And she later went on to start the first women's wrestling organization because there wasn't a platform for women with men. So she started her own organization. She ran that for 25 years. She became the first female wrestler to be a millionaire in the Depression time. And she really paved the way, was a trailblazer for all the female wrestlers that came after her, whether it be the Fabulous Moolah or to the Misha Tates in the UFC today. If it wasn't for her courage and bravery, especially think about the 30s, that was really going against what was acceptable for women at that time. And she inspired the evolution of women in wrestling. And I found that just amazing, seeing her story and other stories that have come along the way.
So it really started with Mildred Burke.
I would say so.
This whole revolution, the evolution of the revolution of women's wrestling. Francesca, are the women more respected in the locker room now? Was it a challenge years ago of getting respect from their male counterparts and those in power?
Really great question, James. I think as females, we still fight locker room banter. However, with more awareness and more women speaking up, that creates a space to push it out so it's not acceptable. So men will no longer continue to do that behavior. Was it worse 10 years ago? For sure. Was it worse 20 years ago? I'm sure it was. I guess the positive thing is that it is getting better, and I encourage women to keep sharing their stories and not putting up with any misogynistic or harassment behavior, so there is no room for it in the future.
What's next for women's wrestling?
That is a great question. I think women are just going to keep on dominating the industry and fighting alongside men as equals with equal pay. And I'm really excited to see that. And I'm excited to see all these young girls that keep becoming fighters. And they're in dojos, and they're no longer the minority. It's, a mixture of girls and boys and men and women. And in that, there's a lot more equality. And I think it's exciting times we're living in. And I truly hope that as in one genre or industry, as we find equality and justice, it